Om Shri Sai Ram. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to this Guru Poornima 2020 Region 10 celebrations. We invoke the grace and blessings of our beloved Lord and Master, our Divine Guru, on this session, and indeed in our lives. For he has often said, and we all know, why fear when I am here? No matter what the situation in the world, Bhagavan is there for us. He is taking good care of each one of us. In fact, leading up to this event, our celebration started a little early itself, I would say, starting from July 1st, when we had Sister Indumati speak to us on our inspirational channel. She took us so beautifully through her days at the Satsai Institute of Higher Learning as a student at Anantapur, and then later her time at Swami Super Specialty Hospital. And she indeed brought Swami to us on that Ashadi Ekadasi day. And then on Friday, July 3rd, we were blessed with a very, very beautiful talk by Brother Sanjay Sani from Puttaparthi. He told us how we can connect with Swami within us, the Guru within. And then, of course, we've had the 2 sessions by the SSIO yesterday, July 4th, and this morning, July 5th. And of course, we have the celebrations even in Prashant and Iliam shared by Radio Sai. So really, Swami has been coming to us in different ways. And He is the one who will take us through this ocean of samsara, this change, this flux of our daily life. One day we feel up, one day we feel down as we get bounced around by these waves. But Swami says, do not worry, I am here. The day you said yes to me, you have become my responsibility. That is, consciously we have become his responsibility. There are many who have yet to say yes, they too are his responsibility, just they don't know it. We are blessed that we know that we are his responsibility. And he has told us that you don't have to worry at all, I'll take you home safely. What more assurance can one have? And the God himself, who is the destination, has come down to walk the path with us as our Guru. In fact, just to quote from Bhagwan's talk this morning on the SSIO session, he says that in part of it, he says that you are all Brahman, but thinking that you all are the Jivatma, Jiva. And he says it's like the rope in the dusk that is mistaken for a snake. So also you have mistaken your identity. And that is all you have to do is realize that. And he has assured us that he is here to help us in that journey towards himself. And to help us in that, he has given us all these different aids, different sessions. And in fact, today also we have beautiful session ahead of us. We have immediately following this welcome, we have Brother Srinivas Gangadhar, who will be sharing with us about love green, live green. And it's almost as if the doctor has ordered a lot of greens in our food menu. So, yeah, I couldn't, I had to go there. So, we are in our region, we have made several attempts and we are working on the Go Green initiative. But now, with Swami's grace, we are having a very structured program for that. And we need everybody to pitch in as part of this. Just as you all have done in the COVID-19 pandemic time, how everybody came together and you all made these face masks and led admirably by our wonderful Seva coordinator, Brother Shiva Prasad. And at the centers, we have all the service coordinators and also the wonderful volunteers. Brother Shiva just informed me that we have crossed the 12,600 mark of face masks, which are handmade by all the volunteers. And this is not just the face mask. We have had other things also, like the face shields, the gowns, the scrub caps, and various other things that he has listed out. And all of this is because of the wonderful effort of all of the devotees coming together, all the volunteers coming together to make it happen. Likewise, in this Go Green initiative, it is a way of life which we will be talking about, not just today, but in the days and weeks ahead, which we need everyone's participation to make it. Because they say that on Guru Poornima, we offer Guru Dakshina to our teacher. What is Dakshina is offering. What is the offering? He doesn't want anything material. He just wants us to be happy, to be healthy, to practice his teachings of love all and serve all, and to take care of the environment. As he says, nature is the vesture of the divine. And when we take care of the divine, then we are taking care of divine. Like once somebody told me, do you know that you are hurting Swami? He said, as far as I know, I have never hurt him. He said, every time you transgress against nature, you are hurting Swami. This is what this person said. And when I saw it in that light, it was very different. And then it means a lot more. It hits you closer to your heart, knowing that every time you transgress nature, you are hurting Swami. So Brother Srinivas will be walking us through that. And then we are having the main course, as so to speak, of Brother Shrikant Vaidyanathan's wonderful talk. And we all know him. He has come to our region before, including last retreat, he was here. And then through the 15 episodes of the Unite and Uplift, he has been helping us all stay tuned to Swami, to connect with each other and to connect with our Lord. And we are very much indebted to the Satsai International Organization USA, as well as the International Organization, for organizing all the programs that they have done. So he'll be here talking to us. And then, of course, we will have wonderful devotional and video sessions. And we wish that you all enjoy this program. So as they say, sit back, relax, and enjoy the program because Swami is in charge, not only of this program, but of our lives as well. With that, I'll pass it over to Brother Srinivas. Thank you. Enjoy the program. Sai Ram to everyone. Sai Ram.
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan. Loving Sairams everyone. On this important day, I would like to take few minutes to introduce our Region 10 Go Green team and also a region-wide initiative for all age groups. As shown in the video, billion dreams, one planet, so consume with care. This is nothing different from what Swami said or practiced. The five elements, ether, air, fire, water, and earth, are the measure of God as well as of man. Use them moderately and with wisdom, with fear and humility. So going green need to become the way of life. As we all know, this is a process and where we all need lot of help to understand the requirements, to find the alternatives and much more. With Swami's guidance and blessings, SSIO USA has started the Enviro Care team at national level. The main objective of this team is to help all Sai centers and all Sai events to be go green with zero waste. As part of this network, every region will have a go green champ who works closely with the National Enviro Care team. I am very happy and excited for the opportunity to be the Region 10 Go Green champ. Within our region, we are in the process of forming a dedicated team to work closely with their respective Sai centers. This helps us in two ways. One, to have some help within the center to address any specific needs or requirements. And the other is for effective communication of learnings and ideas across the region. I would like to thank all regional officers and center officers for this support. This is still work in progress. However, we were able to put together a fabulous, energetic team who were able to get together all this Go Green initiative in less than 3 weeks. It's my absolute pleasure to introduce our Region 10 Go Green team. From Austin, we have Sister Sanju, Sister Sandhya, and Brother Shivarudrappa. From Dallas, we have Brother Ram. From Little Rock Sai Center, we have Brother Thirumal. From Oklahoma, we have Shama Auntie. From San Antonio, we have sisters Poornima and Sukrita. Last but not least, from South Houston, we have sisters Sridevi and Ashwita. Even if we have Go Green champs from all these centers, is this team complete? With all the humility, the answer is no. This is only complete when we have every one of you from every center actively taking part in this mission. To achieve this, going back to the Swami's teachings. To be, to do, to see, to tell. This resonates a lot with many of the YS and SSC, especially Group 4. To be is values and qualities to imbibe. In short, practicing Swami's message. To do is to lead in action, always by being an example. To see, need to be in touch with reality, absolute facts. To tell, for effective communication. Swami says this to tell portion is very small because action speaks themselves. And the to tell totally depends upon the strength of to be and to do. Using this framework, we would like to introduce the Go Green initiative for Region 10. For this, we need action towards a greener environment, knowing the facts and having the awareness towards our goal, effective communication to aspire and inspire ourselves and everyone around us. All these steps need to be based on the values and teachings given by our beloved Lord. Here comes the curtain raiser for our Go Green initiative. Love green, live green. As part of this, every week through center newsletter, WhatsApp groups, and center announcements, we provide a poster which consists of, most importantly, the values to practice, a weekly actionable item to do, relevant facts, and all necessary communication. By the way, we have a blog too, provided in the poster with a tiny URL. Through this blog, one can share their learnings, provide their feedback, their own spiritual learnings through comments. They can also upload a picture or a video link, and of course, they got some trivia to answer. This is a region-wide initiative for all age groups. SSC, YS, brothers, sisters, team has worked to make sure that every actionable item is applicable so that a family can work together. We will be starting this from next Sunday, July 12th. For any questions, please reach out to your center Go Green champ or to your officers or to regional officers or to me. I offer my salutations to Swami for all the ideas and guidance throughout this process. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the Go Green champs and also to our recently graduates from Austin, Trai, Kirtana, and Ratna, for all their help in last 2 weeks. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the officers and members across the region for their continuous support, for a cleaner environment within and around us on this auspicious day of Guru Poornima. This is our humble offering at the lotus feet of the Creator Himself, our Lord, our friend, our guide, our Guru, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Thank you everyone. Sai Ram.
Sairam. Srinivas, that's an excellent presentation. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited that we are going to implement Go Green. And also congratulations to all the team members of the respective centers. Welcome to the Go Green initiative. And let's move on to the next part of our program. And I'm very happy to announce Brother Srikanth, our speaker for the day. Srikanth Vaidyanathan was introduced to Swami through his family, who came into the fold in early 60s. Growing up in Chennai, he had the opportunity to participate in a number of Balavikas SSA-related activities. Subsequently, he joined the primary school in Prashantinilayam in 1986 for his 6th grade and went on to complete his high school there. Swami provided him a number of opportunities to speak in his divine presence, be part of bhajan group, and participate in a number of convocation dramas. In fact, I was a witness to one of his very first dramas in front of Swami when he was an 8th grader. That is Cheppinatlu Chestara. And Cheppinatlu Chestara, to be frank with you, like it's written by Swami, and Srikanth has enacted as Swami himself in that. I still remember those days. And subsequently, he did his undergraduate studies in Vrindavan and completed his MSc Physics in 1998 from Prashantinilayam. From there on, he went on to USA for higher studies, completing his master's in electrical engineering from University of California at Davis. He is very active participant in the Sai Center activities in Boston and all alumni-related activities around United States. He is a regular speaker at many regional and SSIO events. He currently serves as the National Devotional Coordinator for SSIO USA. With this brief introduction, I would like to invite Srikanth to take over. Brother Srikanth, Sarah.
Sairam, I want to offer my most prayerful salutations to Swami's lotus feet, and I'm so glad to be a participant in this session of Guru Poornima. This has been an extended and a beautiful weekend of Guru Poornima celebrations, as Brother Sham mentioned at the beginning. I think starting from early on this week, I think particularly everyone still sort of mostly homebound. I think we have opportunities to join many satsangs online, and right from the United Uplift with Sri Sanjay Sahani from Prashantinilayam, dwelling on the same topic, seeking the Guru within. We moved on to the beautiful presentation from Prashantinilayam on the good occasion of Guru Poornima, and of course the wonderful programs through our international organizations, dwelling over and over again, listening to Swami, and of course all the elders and all the children and YAs elucidate the same message over and over again. It is a beautiful occasion to really think of Swami, who is present in our lives as the Sadguru himself, which allows us not to look anywhere else, only look to him. I wanted to actually share today's theme in terms of, the things I wanted to cover is very much in lines with what we have looked at from the study circle standpoint for the last 3-4 weeks or so. There were these beautiful booklets which came out through the international organization on verily the 3 topics, which one leading to the next, getting subtler and subtler. The first one is Swami's own description of who is a guru and what is the role of a guru in our lives, and the celebration of or observance of this Guru Poornima event itself. The second is how we build faith in the Guru. How do we continue to trust him? How do we continue to pray to him? And finally, like Sri Sanjay Sahani said on Friday evening, how we finally surrender to him, where we don't ask, we don't talk anymore, accept his presence in our lives, accept anything that comes in our lives as his blessing, and move forward. And finally, this is something Swami's emphasized over and over and over again, seek the Guru within. Swami says, the Guru is not without. He is somebody who's always inside you. Very often, we run pillar to post to find solutions to our worldly problems. But Swami has come in our lives to provide us that guidance to say, don't look everywhere, look only within. So that is the theme of what I would like to share. I will surely share a few stories of relevant examples, and at the same time mostly quote from Swami's discourses. I think very often when we become just speakers, it is literally what I mean by that is like a speaker box which just amplifies the source which is in the microphone, Swami himself. And I think it is very simple and it is very easy, and it is always the right thing when we reflect and read and present Swami's own message. On that note, I will start with a letter which is written by Swami himself, very dear to my heart at a very personal level. And I do read this letter over and over again because we have come to Swami for a certain purpose. And over a period of time, we become part of the organization. We take on various roles, if you will, not only as officers, but also in a center, as a bhajan singer, as a service, a person providing service or participating in the various service activities, or as an SSC teacher. All these different roles we perform, but it is all in the context of why we came to Swami first. What is that which drew us to Swami? What is that which continues to draw us to his bhajan, his service, his message, and his beautiful form? So Swami writes in this letter, this was written in 1973, a couple of years short of Swami's 50th birthday. Swami says, "My dear, have you got any spiritual hunger? Spiritual hunger is the ultimate meaning of every activity in life. The dissatisfaction and the restlessness that remain even after obtaining all the necessities of life show that everyone, consciously or unconsciously, does suffer from spiritual hunger. And it is not appeased until the spirit within is realized." It's almost the blueprint of Swami's avatar, and he pretty much captures it here, where the deficiency within us allows us to gravitate, in spite of achieving everything in the world, allows us to gravitate towards a spiritual life, towards a spiritual master, in this case, Swami himself. The spirit within is realized until the spirit within is realized. Without this divine discontent, there is no real progress. World peace is possible when all the people of the world wake up to the facts governing universal life, and when there is a heart-to-heart feeling of goodness, love, and oneness among the inhabitants of the world. With blessings, Sri Satya Sai Baba. And I think Swami beautifully elucidates, saying, in spite of achieving or gathering or collecting all the different material possessions in this world, I think no real progress is made unless there is the divine discontent. And this is something which allows us to gravitate towards anything which is good in the society or in our own spiritual life, which is the ultimate achievement in terms of getting onto that path. On that note, I will start with this story. For some of you who may have watched the other programs this weekend, this story was brought about, and this is Swami quoting a Chinna Katha from him, Guru as the last resort, or the last resort. So Swami narrates the story where a spiritual aspirant is in pursuit, or an aspirant is in pursuit of spiritual realization, and off he goes into the jungle. And as he's meandering around, what ends up happening is he is suddenly attacked by a lion. And being in the forest, and he tries to climb a tree in order to get away from the lion, or at least to save himself. And to his bad luck, as soon as he climbs the tree, Swami says that a bear attacks him from the top of the tree, because it's already sitting on top of the tree. He's attacked from both sides, and it's sort of a predicament of our life in the world. And then he tries to get onto a branch and then pulls down a couple of roots which are on the outside of the tree, and hangs himself from those two roots. And when he is in such a precarious position, what ends up happening is there's a honeycomb on top of the tree, and it suddenly drips a few drops of honey, which drips from the honeycomb itself. And immediately, the man puts out his tongue so that he can get a taste of the honey which is dripping. This is, Swami says, the predicament of man. Amidst all the different problems we have in the world, we still are seeking out for that few moments of happiness. And at that point, Swami says, this man shouts out in agony and looking for true renunciation. And there comes a guru, and the story goes that the guru chases away the animals and eventually gets the man to his ashram, if you will, and advises him on the spiritual path. If you go back and look at the story again, Swami says, the man is, very similar to us. We as human beings run around in the world, and this whole tree is an example of the tree of samsara, or the tree of the world, right? And Swami says the lion refers to the lion, brings out the fear in man. Then the bear brings out the anxiety in him. And the two rats which gnaw on the roots as he's hanging from them are representative of day and night, which is time, right? So as we know, by our own very own existence in this world, time is a bounding factor. And days come, nights come, and the years go by. And very soon we are at the juncture where we are ready to leave the body. And then we look at our life, in terms of all the good activities, what have we done? So it's a time to, really, when we think back, instead Swami says all along, keep your mind on the preceptor, keep your mind on the spiritual path, but continue to tread, the different activities which we go through in our daily life. That is truly head in the forest and hands in the society. If we live our life entirely in that fashion, it becomes very easy that, the moment we are ready to release our body, the attachment is no longer there. And then Swami says the honeycomb, which, from which the honey drops drip, and you get this momentary happiness, is the momentary happiness we get from things of the sort of I and mine, right? These are two things, I, or the ego, where we identify ourselves with the body, and mine, this is my possession, this is my family, this is my friends, all the different I and mine we collect in our lives. And this is our precarious situation. So at that point, where else do we go but to look for this true guru, right? On that note, Swami has different definitions of across his Guru Poornima discourses. If you delve on his different discourses over the years, and we've made it very, very accessible these days on different websites. Radio Sai has it. Our own US and international Sai organization websites have entire discourse collections. It's just a matter of going up there and looking up on what topic we want to read up. And Swami says, Gukaro Gunatita, this is in Sanskrit, Rukaro Rupa Varjita, right? Gukaro, right? The word guru can be split into two syllables, gu and ru. So gu stands for Gunatita, one who is beyond the three qualities, sattva, rajas, tamas. That's the most, the three qualities as it's laid out by the Hindu scriptures. And Rukaro Rupa Varjita, that is Ru, the syllable Ru refers to Rupa Varjita, one who is beyond the form. And the description there, beautifully captures this. So, there is a definition. One who is attributeless and formless is a true guru. But then Swami expands this in his discourse where he says, a guru is necessary to make you understand the formless and attributeless divinity. Right? The divinity itself is formless and attributeless. And the guru's role is to make you understand this. Swami says it's very difficult to get gurus who can make you understand this because they themselves, in some form, should have experienced this. So Swami says it is much easier when you consider God as your Guru, because it is He alone who has experienced this and can come back to explain to us what a definition of a true Guru is. In terms of significance of Guru Poornima, which is one of the most celebrated festivals, and even when I think of my student life in Prashanti Nilayam, amongst the festivals, this is one of the festivals which is universal, because it represents the presence of a Sadguru in our lives. It is beyond religions. It is beyond, language, and truly a festival. If you look at the calendar year of student life in Prashanti Nilayam, as students, typically our college life starts in June and goes all the way through end of March, when we get a summer break. And so if you look at it, even from a college life perspective, I think when we get back in our new semester, the first festival which comes is Guru Poornima. And very often, new students and also returning students, their opportunity after having gone away for vacations and come back, this is the first, and obviously Swami interacts on a daily basis, but to get a concentrated spiritual dose, Guru Poornima is always the first festival. It comes with all the celebrations, which go around it, with the chanting of the Guru Paduka Stotram, the Guru Stotram, all the different, descriptions of who a true Guru in our life is. But at the end of the day, it always culminates with this beautiful discourse by Swami, because that is something which we all wait and look forward to listen to. And in that, Swami typically expands on the role of a Guru and the meaning of the festival Guru Poornima. So in this case, Swami says, Guru is one who illumines the path to divinity. Poornima stands for the cool, full moonlight. Full moon stands for a mind with total illumination. It is spotless, blemishless. Even if there is a trace of blemish in the mind, it will lead to darkness. It cannot give you total bliss. If you look at the moon and the mind, as many of you would have read in our scriptures, it has a very important association. And if you think about it, the moon in its fullness, which is when a Poornima is celebrated, has its own beauty. And the moon, when almost in its nothingness, which is when Shivaratri is celebrated, has its own beauty as well. I often think this is a way where, Swami always gives the example of a devotee and the Lord, where a devotee can, by true belief that he represents the Lord, can expand himself and believe the entire universe exists in him. If you think of Hanuman, he's a true example who exemplified power and presence, but at the same time, he exemplified true humility. That to me is something like a Poornima. But at the same time, you have had devotees who are completely on the opposite side, where they have true humility. And that is almost the nothingness of the mind. So both ways are ways in which you can achieve God, by expanding yourself, but at the same time, in the mind, the intent is always humility. Whereas on the flip side, where you keep your life and your thought process so simple that God has nothing but, He has to come and give you what you want. There is no trace of ego both ways. So that is where the Guru Poornima comes into play. So it is the day of the full moon, and it is also for us to think of God as that presence of the true Guru in our life. It is almost like it's every day we think about him, but it is on that day we think a little bit more in terms of the role that he plays in our lives. Next, we shall go to, what Guru and Guru Poornima is, what we looked at. Next is developing faith in the Guru itself, because it is one thing to identify and find the true Guru in our life. The next thing is to build a relationship with that Guru. And relationship is built in many different ways, right? We again heard in the Unite and Uplift series on Friday, where Sanjay Sahani spoke about developing faith, right? Little bit of faith you invest in the Lord, and He will give you a little bit of experience. The more faith you develop, more experience will be given. That is how this is like a, almost like a chicken and egg situation, where which came first is always difficult to answer. But I think this one I feel is slightly a little bit more clear, because investing a little bit, like Swami almost says, put 1 foot towards me and I'll put 100 towards you. Invest and show that you trust him. The moment you do that, he comes back and gives you experience in multifold. And so here is another example, again from the life, from Swami's own Chinnakatha, which is said in, he's repeated this many times in his discourse. So there is the story of a boy who loses his father very early in life. So when he's about 2 or 3 years old, and his mother, widowed and without much education, she raises him, and without much money, she does her best to give him whatever she can offer. And they don't have too much going by that they can spend or splurge on different things. One day this boy has an examination, and he has to pay the examination fees. And in the examination fees is about 20 rupees, Swami says. And he goes and asks his mother if she can give him the 20 rupees so he can pay the school, so that he can sit down for the examination. And his mother does not have the money. So she says, I will speak to the headmaster and see what can be done. So she goes back and speaks to the headmaster, and the headmaster comes back and says, that is the process, so he cannot help her out. She will have to pay the money for him to sit down for the examination. She goes back home dejected. But when the boy sees his mother dejected, he asks her what he can do. And she says the only thing he can do is, place faith in God. And immediately what happens is, this boy asks what is the process, and she says, pray to him. And why don't you write him a letter? And she says, gives him the address, saying, Swami says that there's write to Vishnu and, Vaikunta, and then write whatever you desire in the letter and go and mail it in the post office. So truly listening to his mother and obviously placing entire faith in God, he writes this letter. And as he goes to the post office to post the letter, it happens that the postmaster notices that there is this young boy who's trying to get this letter into the mailbox. Immediately asks the boy, what is he trying, or whom is he writing the letter to, and where is he sending it? And immediately boy says, this is the address. And for a moment the postmaster is surprised, because obviously very often elders, we give different advice to our children without ourselves trusting in it. Obviously, not to blame the postmaster here, he's a little bit surprised to see the address, and immediately asks the boy, what is he trying to do? And he says, his mother doesn't have the money to pay for the examination, and so he's trying to get this letter out to Vishnu so that he can get the money from Lord Vishnu himself. The postmaster takes the letter and says he will reach it, and he says he will expedite the post and ask him to come the next day so that he can collect the money. And the boy trusts the whole process entirely, goes home, comes back the next day, receives the money from the postmaster, comes home and gives it to his mother. And his mother is surprised. And this is where I was narrating, very often as a parent, I say many things to my child, but I need to make sure I trust what I say. Murli referred to this Cheppinattu Chestara earlier on. It's a play written by Swami himself, and it says, can we practice all that we preach? Similarly, can we believe in the advice we give our own children? And so right away, the mother goes back. She doesn't believe that the money could have come from Vishnu. So, and then when she meets the postmaster's response is, I have been a hard-hearted man all my life, and this was my opportunity to sincerely offer this money to this child who truly trusted his mother's words and placed his entire faith in Lord Vishnu. And so this is a beautiful story. And Swami says, we have heard different stories in which Swami has brought out the role of faith. But before I go there, I would like to play something in Swami's voice itself here.
వీరికంతా ఇంత దూరం నుంచి వచ్చినటువంటి వారికి ఇంత భక్తి ప్రపత్తులతో ఇంత అనుభూతులు ఉంటున్నప్పుడు మేము నిరంతరము దగ్గరనే ఉంటున్నామే, మాకెందుకు ఈ అనుభూతులు రావటం లేదు అని కొంతమందికి ఉండవచ్చు.
The devotees staying at a far off places, they have got all kinds of experiences. How is it that we don't have them staying so near?
మీ పైన నిర్దయ కానీ వారి పైన దయ కానీ రెండూ లేవు నాకు.
Swami is not extra compassionate towards them and dispassionate towards them.
మాత్రమున ఎవరు తలచిన అంత మాత్రమే నేను. ఎవరు ఎంత మాత్రం తలుస్తారో అంత మాత్రమే ఉంటాడు.
As you think, so God manifests himself.
వారి విశ్వాసం అనేది దీనికి మూల కారణం.
Their faith is responsible.
ఎవరెవరి విశ్వాసం వారికి ఆ ఫలితం అందిస్తుంటారు.
Their faith gives them results.
కానీ మంచి చెడ్డ అక్కడ ఉన్నది, ఇక్కడ ఉంటున్నది.
However good and bad are everywhere.
కానీ వారు దూరముగా ఉండటం చేత
Since they are far off,
దీని యొక్క భక్తి ప్రపత్తులు
their devotion,
వారిలో గాఢముగా చేరిపోతున్నాయి.
they are very deep in there.
గాఢముగా చేరినటువంటి యొక్క భావములు,
The feelings which are so deep,
ఎలాంటి పరిస్థితుల్లో కూడా సుక్షేమంగానే ఉంటాయి.
under any circumstances, they are safe.
గాఢముగా చేరినటువంటి యొక్క భక్తులు
The devotees who don't have,
ఎప్పుడూ అశాంతిగానే ఉంటాయి.
they are always
ఒక
restless.
చిన్న ఉదాహరణ,
A small example.
రోడ్డు ప్రక్క లోపల
Alongside of the road,
పెద్ద పెద్ద వృక్షాలంతా ఉంటాయి.
there are huge trees.
కానీ ఈ వృక్షాలు చూస్తే చాలా పెద్దగా ఉంటున్నాయి.
When you look at them, they are gigantic.
కానీ క్షామం ఏర్పడింది.
But there was famine,
వర్షం లేదు,
no rain,
నీరు లేదు,
no water.
కానీ ఆ వృక్షములు పచ్చగానే ఉంటున్నాయి.
But those trees are green.
దానికి ప్రక్కనే
On one side,
ఒక వరి పంట ఉంటుండాలి.
paddy field.
దానికి నిత్యము నీరు పెట్టాలి.
The paddy field has to be
ఒక
watered.
దినమేమైనా నీరు పెట్టకపోతే అది వాడిపోతుంది, ఎండిపోతుంది.
If you don't water paddy field for one day, it would be dry.
ఈ తెలివి తక్కువ మనిషి ఏమనుకుంటాడు,
Who is the foolish one?
మరి ఇంత చిన్న ముక్క ఒక దినం నీళ్లు కట్టకపోతే వాడికి వెండి చచ్చిపోతుండాలి.
Such a little one, the paddy.
ఇంత పెద్ద వృక్షము ఇంతకాలం వర్షం లేకపోయినా అది పచ్చగా కలకలలాడుతుండాలి.
A big tree, even if you don't water, it still remains green.
కారణం ఏమిటి
What is the reason?
అనగా ఆ పెద్ద చెట్టు యొక్క వేర్లు నీటి మట్టం వరకు దిగిపోయినాయి.
Meaning the roots of the huge tree has gone into the depths of the water level.
కనుకనే ఆ లోపల నుంచి ఆ నీరు సప్లై చేస్తుండాలి వేర్ల ద్వారా ఈ చెట్టుకు.
Therefore, the roots having gone into the depths could take water.
ప్రక్కన ఉన్నటువంటి వరి పైరు నీటి మట్టం వరకు దిగలేదు.
But the roots of the paddy field have not gone
పై
that deep.
పైనే ఉంటున్నాయి. పై పైన నీరు ఉన్నంత వరకు పచ్చగా ఉంటది, పై పైన నీరు పోతుంది, ఎండిపోతుంది.
The roots of the paddy field are just superficial. Receive the water there only, then becomes dry.
కాబట్టి అన్ని విధములా కూడాను మనము అశాంతికి, దుఃఖములకు గురి కావటం కారణం ఏమిటి?
So what is the reason for our
మన
misery?
భావములు ఆ యొక్క గ్రేస్, ప్రేమ, ఆనందము అనేటువంటి తత్వం యొక్క లోతు వరకు దిగటం లేదు.
Because our roots of faith have not reached that depth of devotion and faith.
కేవలం పై పై లోపలే మనం ప్రయాణం చేస్తున్నాం.
We just travel superficial.
అంతా మనం ఫ్లయింగ్ సాసెస్ వాళ్ళు తయారైపోయినాం.
We have become flying saucers.
కానీ ఇట్టి దాంట్లో మనం ఏమాత్రం కూడా మనం తగినటువంటి యొక్క తత్వాన్ని మనం గుర్తించుకోలేము.
We don't understand the true nature.
ఆ నమ్మకం మనకు కుదరాలి.
We should have that steady faith.
ఆ విశ్వాసమే మన నిజమైన శ్వాస.
That strong faith is the breath.
కానీ ఆ శ్వాస మనకు మధ్య మధ్య మారుతూ ఉండటం చేతనే,
As the breath changes in between,
వ్యక్తిగతమైనటువంటి యొక్క అభిప్రాయ భేదముల చేతనే
because of individual opinion,
మానవుడు అనేక విధమైనటువంటి యొక్క దుఃఖములకు, విచారములకు, అసంతృప్తికి గురి అవుతున్నాడు.
Swami beautifully points out that how deep the roots are. That is what allows the huge trees to sustain themselves even during famine. Whereas the paddy crop needs water on a daily basis. So developing faith through all the different processes that we go through on a daily basis, through our Sai centers, through our own personal study, through our own meditation sessions, all these are ways in which we expand and deepen our roots so that we can get closer to Him. In terms of developing faith in God, Swami often talks about these three. Daiva Priti, which is love for God, Papa Bhiti, which is fear of sin. And if you look at these two, if one exists, the other will not exist. It's pretty much complementary. So if you have love for God, then you will surely have fear of sin. And finally, when these two exist, morality in society can be practiced, where we can be useful to the society, where we become more a provider of service in the society. Swami also talks about developing devotion to God through faith and love. We heard him, talk about this, how you need to deepen your roots, and building this relationship with God becomes very, very critical. And prayer is not petitioning to God, It is an index of experience of Atmic bliss. So again, Swami talks about prayer, which is, spending time in a conversation with God. And it becomes very critical. Very often, we participate in lots of group activities, which is not to say they are not good. Good satsang obviously elevates the spiritual pursuit which we are going through. But at the same time, it is very critical that we spend time within ourselves, which will allow us to look at the next topic, seeking the Guru within. How do we build relationship with the Guru when we silence the noise which is outside? Speaking of faith, I wanted to share a couple of stories in terms of having true faith in the Lord. So this is a story from our times in the primary school in Prashanti Nilayam. And so there was a young boy who had joined the first standard or the first grade, and he's about 6 years old, first time leaving his parents and joining the hostel. And he was pretty homesick the first couple of days, thinking about his parents, missing them quite a bit. And what ended up happening was, first couple of days he was crying a lot, had not had enough food, and he was going to bed pretty early. So this was one side of the story. On the other side, there is the primary school children had gone for darshan, and on a typically the primary school children come for darshan on a Thursday and a Sunday, and on one of those days, Swami comes up to the headmistress and says, "You're not taking care of the children properly." And when Swami made that comment, these are teachers who really take their responsibility very, very seriously, very loving, very kind. You can speak to any of the students who have gone through this education system. These teachers are so loving. They take care of anything and everything that a child needs, particularly in the primary school and the younger age groups. So the headmistress, when she heard that, and she didn't know how to respond to Swami, so she came back to the hostel and inquired about anything which is different or abnormal, or somebody's needs had not been met with food, clothing, shelter, whatever it is. And when that happened, she found out that after a little bit of asking around and speaking to different students, I think she found out that this particular boy had last couple of days had like I mentioned, had gone to bed pretty early, and he was pretty hungry. When he, middle of the night, he had woken up because he had not eaten his dinner. And so when he woke up in the middle of the night, we are all in the dormitory system there. So it's about, 50, it's pretty similar to the sheds which are in Prashanti Nilayam, right? Large number of people stay within, with allotted space for each individual. So this boy was sitting on his bed around midnight or so and crying and, basically feeling hungry. And everybody was asleep, and he didn't know where to go. He was new to the whole place, and just been there a couple of days. And what ended up happening was suddenly the dormitory door opens, and right from the door, Swami walks in with a plate of food in his hand, and comes straight to this boy, feeds him, and essentially after he feeds him, puts him to bed and leaves. And so this is what had happened. And so the headmistress right away asked the boy, "Why didn't you tell us?" And he was like, "My parents had told me that once I come to Swami's school, Swami takes care of everything." And so he thought this was pretty normal in terms of, expectation of Swami coming and giving you food, taking care of all your needs and things like that. But this is truly a story of faith, right? Where he trusted his parents' words, and Swami didn't give up either. He also made sure he kept his end of the promise. Similar stories are, quite prevalent from all our different scriptures. If you take the Hindu epics, we have the story of Krishna being born in the jail or the prison, and then eventually, walks up to the Yamuna to, go to Mathura. I think the waves part, and it's just a matter of Vasudeva and Devaki trusting the Lord's words, and it made it happen. Similar, parting of the ocean happens in the story of Moses, and where God commands and to do certain thing, implicit obedience and implicit belief in the words of the Lord, and miracles happen, right? These appear like miracles, but it's, if you think about it, for God anything is possible. At the same time, when the faith of the devotee and the grace of the Lord come together, anything is possible. It ends up being called as a miracle from worldly parlance, but it's way beyond that. Also wanted to put this one quote again. I think about this because when we develop our relationship with the Lord, I think Swami's also guided us in terms of what are the qualities we need to develop. So Swami says God himself has 4 qualities, and it is only when you cultivate them that you can understand him. They are divine love, prema, beauty, which is saundarya, sweetness, which is madhurya, and splendor, which is shobha. Right? These are the truly divine qualities: prema, saundarya, madhurya, and shobha. The development of prema is enough to add unto you the other 3. When you are so full of love for the divine in all creation, that stage is beauty. When you see God in everybody, that stage is beauty. When you are immersed in the sea of universal love, you reach the acme of sweetness. When your mind loses its identity and merges in the universal mind, then there is splendor indescribable. So you pretty much see in that quote, when you develop love, all the other 3 follow: beauty, sweetness, and splendor. And these are qualities of the divine. And the moment we develop the universal quality of love, which is again, amongst the 5 values which Swami often talks about, love is the fundamental value through which all the others can be expressed, right? So in the same way, here, if we develop love, Swami says, you will develop all the other qualities which are built on top of that. This is another discourse of Swami. This is in 2003, and you'll see that some of the sentences are from the previous discourse. So essentially pointing out to, Swami has been emphasizing the same message over and over and over again.
And then receiving that. Like that, devotees must be ready for any task. People are prepared for all good things. They run away for anything that's difficult. You should be ready for any task. You are bound to face certain obstacles and problems. You should not be mindful. But you should have very strong faith. Let Vishwasa faith be your swasa, the breath. And then
essentially, I wanted to bring that point where Swami says Vishwasa should become your Shwasa, which is a sentence which he repeated in the previous discourse, which I played as well, where the faith should become verily your life breath. And if it becomes your life breath, then the worldly journey, again, Swami points out, will come with its own ups and downs. But if your breath, they talk about breath control, if your breath is always steady, you get through these vicissitudes of life. Which every human being goes through, but our mind is always placed in the higher pedestal, if you will, thinking of the Lord all the time. Final stage is once you develop your faith and relationship and surrender. I think Swami always says, in the end, trying to find God within yourself is the greatest gift, if you will, because that allows you to operate from a space of beautiful self-confidence, always operates where you have troubles and difficulties. You can just go within, think about him. And, very often I think about this because if you think, over the years, we had the good fortune of going to Prashanti Nilayam, seeing his beautiful form, which we continue to miss even today. But at the same time, by taking away his form, which, Swami always followed the rules of his creation. He himself, never made an allowance to breaking the rules for himself particularly. And in this case, so when Swami has taken away his own body, I think we are a little bit forced to, that opportunity to run to Puttaparthi and run to see him, whenever some difficulty comes in our life or there is a happy occasion in our life. It has, in some ways, he's taken that away from us, even though it's lovely to attend, go to Puttaparthi and attend the beautiful sessions there. I think in the end, though, the intention there is Swami's forced us to look inside. The whole point is we can keep looking outside everywhere. Swami always gives the example of dig a well here, go to one teacher, then go to a different teacher, keep digging your well. In the end, it's not the quality of the teacher that matters. It is the gift, or it's the gift which one teacher gives you. Utilize that and you dig your well deep so that you find water. So on that note, another story from Swami. So this is a story where there is a guru in Rishikesh. Again, this is a Chinna Katha, or a short story as narrated by Swami. So there is a teacher who runs an ashram in Rishikesh, which is a holy place in India, closer to the Himalayas. And this guru is, a very good man, wants to give the highest wisdom to everybody, and always takes in anybody who comes in with a desire to achieve the spiritual purpose, wanting to realize God, wanting to be on a spiritual path. So this was going on for a long time, and one day the guru noticed that as the number of inhabitants in the ashram were increasing, there were groups of people who were getting into quarrels with each other. And this disturbed the guru a little bit. But at the same time, he was a noble man and with a very good heart. So he didn't have the heart to basically send anybody away from the ashram, on this pretext. So he prays to the Lord and tries to petition the Lord to see if he can get a solution to how to, deal with the situation. So the guru prays to the Lord, and the God appears in a dream to him. And in the dream, he says, what's going on in the ashram. Immediately, the Lord says, to solve your problem, I will come to the ashram. So the guru is overjoyed. He says, if you yourself come, I'm sure everybody will be in their best behavior. And the Lord also makes it a little bit more challenging, right? So he says, not only I will come, but I will come and I will stay, which made it even more nicer. But there's always a twist at the end. So he says, I'll come, I will stay. But the way I will be present in the ashram is in one of the individuals who's already in the ashram. So essentially, you won't know in whom the Lord is present. Okay, but the guru was overjoyed because the moment he heard Lord himself is coming and staying with the ashram. So immediately he calls out all the ashramites and lets them know that the Lord himself will come and stay in the ashram. And how will he be present? He'll be present in one of us. And what that made everybody think and realize is they have to be in their best behavior all the time because they don't know in whom God is present. So look at the quote at the bottom there. It says, if we reflect, we can make our family, our society, and our earth just like this ashram, full of peace and harmony, because that's what the ashram became. The moment they knew they were not sure in whom God was present, they all were in their best behavior all the time. Similarly, if we start practicing seeing God in everybody, maybe at the family level first, then at the society level, then at the earth level, there will always be peace and harmony. We always talk about golden age, right? The golden age is not something which is always coming 20 years from now. The troubles and all the different difficulties in the world, which will always appear to us, there is always a conundrum of, is this dharma? Is this the right thing? Is this adharma? Is this the wrong thing? And very often Swami says, in our own mind, if we are able to make sense of this and see God in everybody, all the troubles of the world will become easier for us to get through, right? So if only we believe and practice the feeling that each one is just God in a different form, our life would become a sweet experience every moment. And I thought this was, a story, but at the same time, a nice way where Swami has explained to us in a smaller circle, try to, even if we are not having the hardest time seeing God in somebody who's been the meanest to us, maybe we start with a smaller circle, a circle we at least seem to love from a worldly perspective, maybe our family, our children, our spouse. Maybe we start with seeing God in them and then slowly expand ourselves so that we can see God in everybody. That is one easy way that you see God in everybody around us and at the same time seeing God within yourself as well. So that's the other piece to this, right? In the ashram, Swami said, we could be looking everywhere else, but God could be present within ourselves as well. So it's important that we truly see Him in everything. Another discourse from Swami.
స్వరూపులారా, ఎలాంటి కష్ట సమయం ఎందుకు కానీ, ఎలాంటి బాధలు ఎందుకు కానీ, ఎలాంటి పరిస్థితులు ఎందుకు కానీ దైవాన్ని మాత్రం వదలరాదు.
Embodiments of divine Atma.
దైవం ఒక్కడే.
Under whatever circumstances, troubles, tribulations, etc., do not give up God. Do not forget about God. God is alone.
సంపదలొచ్చిన గాని, హెచ్చుగా సంపదలొచ్చిన గాని, ఏనుగు గుర్రములెక్కిన గాని, పిచ్చోడని పేరొచ్చిన గాని, ప్రియముతో పెద్దలు పొగిడిన గాని, దేవుని మరువకురా, ఉన్నది దైవమే ఒక్కడురా. దేవుని మరువకురా, ఉన్నది దైవమే ఒక్కడురా.
Whatever prosperity and wealth you may get, you may have all the comforts and all the luxuries available to you. You may become mad and lose all sense, but under all circumstances, never give up God. There is only one God.
దోషించిన గాని,
The wicked people may criticize you.
దుష్ట జనులు దోషించిన గాని, దోషరహితుడై ఉండిన గాని, కష్టములెన్నో వచ్చిన గాని, కాయము వ్యాధుల చిక్కిన గాని, దైవము వదలకురా, ఉన్నది దైవము ఒక్కడురా.
Whatever problems, difficulties you may get, whatever diseases you may get, you may be free from all those things under any circumstances. Do not forget God. There is only one God.
యోగాభ్యాసము చేసిన గాని, భాగవతాదుల చూచిన గాని, యోగాభ్యాసము చేసిన గాని, భాగవతాదుల చూచిన గాని, పండితుడని బిరుదొచ్చిన గాని, పాపిష్టోడని అన్నను గాని, దేవుని వదలకురా, ఉన్నది దైవము ఒక్కడురా.
You may undertake practice of yoga. You may go and visit Bhagavatas and great ones. And you may be praised by everyone, and you may be condemned by everyone. But under all circumstances, do not give up God. There is only one God.
నిందకు లోబడి నిలచిన గాని, నిండు చదువులే చదివిన గాని, నిండు కుండవయ్యుండుమురా, నీవు ఎండని కుండగా నుండకురా, దైవము ఒక్కడరా, ఉన్నది దైవము ఒక్కడురా.
Whatever education you may get, whatever scholarship you may get, do not become proud of it. Be always humble and recognize the truth that there is only one God, and never give up your faith in God.
ఇలాంటి దైవతత్వాన్ని మాత్రం అని ఏనా ఆత్మస్వరూపులారా.
It's a beautiful poem again, written by Swami, and Swami quotes this very, very often. How do not ever forget God. On that same note, I think Swami is emphasized over and over again, have confidence in the Atma. So Swami says again, this is his quote: "Do not go in search of gurus. Strengthen your faith in the Atma. Seek to enjoy the Atmic bliss. Strive to develop the conviction, I am the Atma." That is the true message. When you have grasped this truth, all other things will be unnecessary. For experiencing this Guru, there are no restrictions as to time, place, or circumstances. Only for the man steeped in the mind, changes in time exist, and he is bound by them. But to the man who has transcended the limitations of time, everything remains immutable. This spiritual state can be reached only through confidence in the Atma. I'll play one more clip from Swami's discourse.
ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా, ఏదో గురు పౌర్ణం అనుకొని, ఏదో బాహ్యమైనటువంటి గురువులంతా చేర్చుకొని, ఏదో కొన్ని పూజలు పునస్కారములని ఈ యొక్క అల్పమైనటువంటి కార్యాల్లో మన జీవితాన్ని మరింత బంధించుకోనారు.
Embodiments of divine love. In the name of Guru Poornima, we should not get bound by wrongly understanding Guru Poornima and Guru as
గురువు ఒక్కడే, దైవం ఒక్కడే గురువు.
There is only one Guru. And
ఆ గురువు ఎవరు? అది నీవే.
Who is the Guru? It is yourself.
ఆ గురుత్వం అనేటువంటి దైవత్వం నీలోనే ఉంటుంది. నీవెక్కడో బయట ప్రపంచంలో వెతకడానికి ప్రయత్నిస్తున్నావు.
That Guru in the form of divinity is residing in you, but you are searching for the Guru in the outside world.
కనుక బ్రహ్మ విష్ణు మహేశ్వర స్వరూపులు నీ యొక్క గుణములే.
Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara are the qualities which are embedded in you.
కనుక నిన్ను హతం చేసేది కానీ పోషించేది కానీ రక్షించేది మన గుణములే.
It is these qualities itself which can destroy you or which can lift you up into an elevated.
మన ప్రవర్తనను సక్రమైనటువంటి మార్గంలో పెట్టుకున్నప్పుడు అదే మనకు రక్షిస్తుంది, అదే విస్తృతంగా మారిపోతుంది.
If your behavior and conduct is okay, it becomes Vishnutva and gives you protection.
Famous.
Yeah, these discourses are beautiful, and I personally like to see them over and over again. With the technology these days, I think many of these are available, to listen to in Swami's voice, and of course all his writings as the Vahinis and all the discourses which have been compiled into Satya Sai or put together as Satya Sai Speaks. These are all extensive resources in terms of who this avatar is and who we have associated ourselves with. And somebody we love, we like, we respect, we adore, it is also becomes pertinent that we spend the time to understand what he really came to give us. Very often I was part of the bhajan group, and we loved singing bhajans for Swami in his presence, and of course we continue to love to sing bhajans for him. But in some ways I keep telling myself, bhajans is a way for us to connect with him, but discourses and his messages are the ones where he is connecting with us, and it's important that we pay an attentive ear, listen to what he has to offer. That is, after all, that is part of his avataric mission. As I come to slowly a close here, I also want to point out a couple of other things which I take a lot of comfort from. And this is again a letter which is sort of almost a blueprint to who Swami's, to what Swami's avataric mission is. And if you look at it, he wrote this way back in 1947. He was hardly 20 years old. And this is part of an extended letter. It's also captured on our organization website, if you take a look at it, because it's truly a blueprint of what Swami wanted humanity to go after. And it's also a way for him to tell us who he really was. And my intent of putting this letter is here, where I think Sham brought this out early on very beautifully, where he said, if we have offered ourselves to him, we have, and we have realized it too, that we have offered ourselves to him, we should not worry at all. And this is Swami's assurance in turn. I have a task to foster all mankind and ensure for all of them lives full of bliss, Ananda. I have a vow to lead all who stray away from the straight path again into goodness and save them. I am attached to a work that I love, to remove the sufferings of the poor and grant them what they lack. I have a reason to be proud, for I rescue all who worship and adore me. I have my definition of the devotion. I expect those devoted to me have to treat joy and grief, gain and loss with equal fortitude. And this is again very important statement, because we often call ourselves as Sai devotees, and Swami has also got to call us a devotee, and for that I think he's laid out a blueprint there. I expect those devoted to me have to treat joy and grief, gain and loss with equal fortitude. This means that I will never give up those who attach themselves to me. The reason I put this pretty much at the close here is I think we have bound ourselves with him, and we should rest assured that he is always there to take care of us, always there, for our beck and call. In fact, even more easier these days, where we have to just look inside and, in our own altars, in our own homes, in our own Sai centers, when we think about him, he's available at every beck and call. In conclusion, I want to say the play is his, the role is his gift, the lines are written by him. He directs, he decides the dress and the decoration, the gesture and the tone, the entrance and the exit. You have to act well to receive his approbation when the curtain falls. Earn by your efficiency and enthusiasm the right to play higher and higher roles. That is the meaning and purpose of life. It is pretty much, this summarizes our relationship with him and our surrender to him. And I think even if we contemplate on these words on a daily basis, even when we start out or when we close out the day, to really think that we are acting as per his guidance and put the whole burden on him. And he who is inside us, he is our indweller, and he will make sure we get through our life in the most beautiful way as ordained by him. At the same time, keeping our mind steady and focused on him. With that, I want to pray to Swami that he keeps everybody healthy and happy, particularly during this situation, COVID-19 situation. It's been about 4 months at this point, but at the same time, I think all of us have tuned ourselves to a higher purpose, with more online sessions or more readings or more meditation, and it's provided us tremendous opportunity to really look within and to look for higher meaning and higher purpose and more spiritual messages. And hopefully with Swami's grace, when we come out on the other side of this pandemic, we will be more geared towards and more mature, hopefully, with having taken all these input through books, through messages, through online sessions, and out there to continue his mission even more with greater vigor. With that, I also want to take the opportunity to thank the officers of Region 10 for providing me this opportunity to be with you all and to share some of these thoughts which are Swami's very own, and partake in this satsang. Saram, everyone.
Respected elders, dear brothers and sisters, youth and SSC children, on behalf of Sai Region 10, I would like to offer my gratitude to Swami for the opportunity to host Brother Shrikant as a speaker on this very auspicious and special celebration of Guru Poornima. Brother Shrikant, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to you for so eloquently delivering Swami's message on how we can seek the Guru within. I'm fully aware of how busy you are in your role as a National Devotional Coordinator, and it is indeed a testament to your love for Swami that you could take time off your schedule to talk to us this evening. You have beautifully taken us through who is a Guru, what is the role of a Guru, how to build faith in the Lord, in the Guru, how do we surrender to Him by accepting anything and everything that He provides to us without question. And in conclusion, you shared how to seek the Guru within. Swami has come into our lives so we can find the answers, everything we need to by looking within. Thanks, brother, for a truly uplifting session and making this day of Guru Poornima very memorable for all of us. We hope we can host you again soon to listen to many more stories from you. On this day of Guru Poornima, take time to cherish the contribution of our Gurus as they have sacrificed a lot to make our future better. We should always respect them from our heart and always be thankful to them for everything they have done for our sake. Finally, let us make an oath to honor Swami's legacy by a renewed commitment to his teachings and being the change we wish to see in this world. And I hope Swami can give me a lot more divine discontentment so I can make much more spiritual progress. Today's program will continue with a few items to follow. We will first have some bhajans, followed by a short video presentation, and we will conclude with closing prayers. Please stay tuned, and Jai Sai Ram.
मङ्गलचरणा गजानना मङ्गलचरणा गजानना गजवदना शुभानना गजवदना शुभानना मङ्गलचरणा गजानना विद्यादायका बुद्धिप्रदायका विद्यादायका बुद्धिप्रदायका गौरी तनया गजानना गौरी तनया गजानना मङ्गलचरणा गजानना गजवदना शुभानना मङ्गलचरणा गजानना विद्यादायका बुद्धिप्रदायका गौरी तनया गजानना गौरी तनया गजानना मङ्गलचरणा गजानना
गुरुदेवा प्रिय देवा साई देवा दयामया
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 विभूति सुन्दर शशाङ्क शेखर
विभूति सुन्दर शशाङ्क शेखर
साई शङ्कर दया करो
साई शङ्कर दया करो
विभूति सुन्दर शशाङ्क शेखर
विभूति सुन्दर शशाङ्क शेखर
साई शङ्कर दया करो
साई शङ्कर दया करो
साई शङ्कर दया करो
साई शंकर दया करो,
साई शंकर दया करो,
सत्य साई शंकर दया करो।
गुरुदेवा प्रिय देवा साई देवा दयामया।
गुरुदेवा प्रिय देवा साई देवा दयामया।
गोकुलनंदन साई गोपाला,
गोकुलनंदन साई गोपाला,
गोकुलनंदन साई गोपाला,
गोकुलनंदन साई गोपाला,
रघुकुलभूषण साई रामा,
रघुकुलभूषण साई रामा,
रघुकुलभूषण साई रामा,
रघुकुलभूषण साई रामा।
हे मदनाथ दया करो,
हे मदनाथ दया करो,
हे मदनाथ दया करो,
हे मदनाथ दया करो। गुरुदेवा प्रिय देवा साई देवा दयामया।
गुरुदेवा प्रिय देवा साई देवा दयामया।
विभूति सुंदर शशांक शेखर,
विभूति सुंदर शशांक शेखर,
साई शंकर दया करो,
साई शंकर दया करो,
साई शंकर दया करो।
साई शंकर दया करो।
गुरुदेवा प्रिय देवा साई देवा दयामया।
गुरुदेवा प्रिय देवा साई देवा दयामया।
गोकुलनंदन साई गोपाला,
गोकुलनंदन साई गोपाला,
रघुकुलभूषण साई रामा,
रघुकुलभूषण साई रामा,
हे मदनाथ दया करो,
हे मदनाथ दया करो,
हे मदनाथ दया करो।
हे मदनाथ दया करो।
गुरुदेवा
प्रिय देवा साई देवा
दुर्गे 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 जय जय माँ।
दुर्गे 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 जय जय माँ।
सागरी माँ,
करुणा सागरी माँ,
काली कपालिनी माँ,
काली कपालिनी माँ,
जगदोद्धारिणी माँ,
जगदोद्धारिणी माँ,
जगदोद्धारिणी माँ,
जगदोद्धारिणी माँ,
दुर्गे जय जय माँ,
दुर्गे जय जय माँ,
अम्बा दुर्गे जय जय माँ,
दुर्गे जय जय माँ,
दुर्गे 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 जय जय माँ,
करुणा सागरी माँ,
करुणा सागरी माँ,
काली कपालिनी माँ,
काली कपालिनी माँ,
जगदोद्धारिणी माँ,
जगदोद्धारिणी माँ,
दुर्गे जय जय माँ,
दुर्गे जय जय माँ,
अम्बा दुर्गे जय जय माँ,
दुर्गे जय जय माँ, दुर्गे
दुर्गे जय जय माँ।
गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविंदा गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविंदा गिरिधर शिरडिपुरीश्वर मंदर गिरिधर शिरडिपुरीश्वर गिरिधर शिरडिपुरीश्वर मंदर गिरिधर शिरडिपुरीश्वर जय पतीश्वर साई कृपाळा जय पतीश्वर साई कृपाळा जय पतीश्वर साई कृपाळा जय पतीश्वर साई कृपाळा गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविंदा गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविंदा सुंदर रूपा श्री साई देवा 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 वैदेही मोहन नारायणा वैदेही मोहन नारायणा
Guru Baba, 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 Charana Namostute Guru Baba, Charana Namostute Guru Baba, Charana Namostute Guru Baba, Charana Namostute Guru Baba, Vidyadayaka Guru Baba, Vidyadayaka Guru Baba, Vidyadayaka Guru Baba, Vidyadayaka Guru Baba, Shanta Swarupa Guru Baba, Shanta Swarupa Guru Baba, Shanta Swarupa Guru Baba, Shanta Swarupa Guru Baba, Guruvara Guruvara Guru Baba, Guruvara Guruvara Guru Baba, Guruvara Guruvara Guru Baba, Guruvara Guruvara Guru Baba, Guru Baba, Guru Baba, Guru Baba, Guru Baba, Charana Namostute Guru Baba, Charana Namostute Guru Baba, Vidyadayaka Guru Baba, Vidyadayaka Guru Baba, Shanta Swarupa Guru Baba, Shanta Swarupa Guru Baba, Guruvara Guruvara Guru Baba, Guruvara Guruvara Guru Baba, Guruvara Guruvara Guru Baba, Guruvara Guruvara Guru Baba, Guru Baba, Guru Baba, Charana Namostute Guru Baba.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Ram.
Mukunda Madhava Shri Sai 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 Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Ram.
Govinda Gopala Radha Kishan.
Govinda Gopala Radha Kishan.
Govinda Gopala Radha Kishan.
Govinda Gopala Radha Kishan.
Giridhara Gopala Meera Kishan.
Giridhara Gopala Meera Kishan.
Giridhara Gopala Meera Kishan.
Giridhara Gopala Meera Kishan.
Bolo Ram, bolo Shyam, bolo Sai Ghanashyam.
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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Ram.
Mukunda Madhava Shri Sai Ram.
Mukunda Madhava Shri Sai Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Ram.
शिव महेश्वरा शिव महेश्वरा शिव महेश्वरा साई राम
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 शिव महेश्वरा शिव शंकरा शिव महादेवा 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 साई राम
कैलासवासा महादेवा
कैलासवासा महादेवा
कैलासवासा महादेवा
कैलासवासा महादेवा
जगदीश्वर हर महादेवा
जगदीश्वर हर महादेवा
जगदीश्वर हर महादेवा
जगदीश्वर हर महादेवा
त्रिभुवन पाल बाबा साई देवा
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 शिव महेश्वरा शिव महेश्वरा शिव महेश्वरा साई राम
शिव महेश्वरा शिव महेश्वरा शिव महेश्वरा साई राम
शिव महेश्वरा शिव शंकरा शिव महादेवा साई राम
शिव महेश्वरा शिव शंकरा शिव महादेवा साई राम
कैलासवासा महादेवा
कैलासवासा महादेवा
जगदीश्वर हर महादेवा
जगदीश्वर हर महादेवा
त्रिभुवन पाल बाबा साई देवा
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 शिव महेश्वरा शिव महेश्वरा शिव महेश्वरा साई राम
सर्वधर्मप्रिय देवा सर्वधर्मप्रिय देवा सर्वधर्मप्रिय देवा सर्वधर्मप्रिय देवा सत्य साई देवा सत्य साई देवा सत्य साई देवा सत्य साई देवा अल्लाह येशु बुद्ध नानक अल्लाह येशु बुद्ध नानक अल्लाह येशु बुद्ध नानक अल्लाह येशु बुद्ध नानक
गुरु नानक जी की जय जयकार।
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 जो बोले सो हो बेनिहार।
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 अल्लाह साईं ले लो सलाम।
अल्लाह साईं ले लो सलाम।
मौला साईं ले लो सलाम।
मौला साईं ले लो सलाम।
सलाम सलाम लाखों सलाम।
सलाम सलाम लाखों सलाम।
सलाम सलाम मेरा सलाम।
सलाम सलाम मेरा सलाम।
यीशु पिता प्रभु साईं राम।
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 बुद्ध ज़ोराष्ट्र महावीर नाम।
बुद्ध ज़ोराष्ट्र महावीर नाम।
बुद्ध ज़ोराष्ट्र महावीर नाम।
बुद्ध ज़ोराष्ट्र महावीर नाम।
सलाम सलाम लाखों सलाम।
सलाम सलाम लाखों सलाम।
सलाम सलाम लाखों सलाम।
सलाम सलाम लाखों सलाम।
सलाम सलाम मेरा सलाम।
सलाम सलाम मेरा सलाम।
सलाम सलाम मेरा सलाम।
सलाम सलाम मेरा सलाम।
गुरु नानक जी की जय जयकार।
गुरु नानक जी की जय जयकार।
जो बोले सो हो बेनिहार।
जो बोले सो हो बेनिहार।
अल्लाह साईं ले लो सलाम।
अल्लाह साईं ले लो सलाम।
मौला साईं ले लो सलाम।
मौला साईं ले लो सलाम।
सलाम सलाम लाखों सलाम।
सलाम सलाम लाखों सलाम।
सलाम सलाम मेरा सलाम।
सलाम सलाम मेरा सलाम।
यीशु पिता प्रभु साईं राम।
यीशु पिता प्रभु साईं राम।
बुद्ध ज़ोराष्ट्र महावीर नाम।
बुद्ध ज़ोराष्ट्र महावीर नाम।
सलाम सलाम लाखों सलाम।
सलाम सलाम लाखों सलाम।
सलाम सलाम मेरा सलाम।
सलाम सलाम मेरा सलाम।
सलाम सलाम मेरा सलाम।
सलाम सलाम मेरा सलाम।
गुरु नानक जी की जय जयकार।
विठ्ठला
పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ లైఫ్?
What is the purpose of life?
మీరు క్వశ్చన్ వేసుకో.
Put a question yourself.
తినటమా?
Is it eating?
నిద్రించటమా?
Is sleeping?
లేక ఇంకేమైనా ఆనందంగా అనుభవించటమా?
Or is anything mere enjoyment?
త్రాగటమా?
Drinking?
Not this.
Not this.
ఖానా పీనా సోనా మర్నా. అంతేనా?
So drinking and eating and ultimately dying.
కట్టేపటికి చావటమేనా మన యొక్క ఏం?
Is it our aim to die ultimately?
Purpose of life అంటే తనను తాను తెలుసుకోవటం, అది పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ లైఫ్.
The purpose of life is to know one's own self.
ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ వేసుకో.
First put a question
Who
yourself.
am I? Who am I? Who am I?
Put a question to yourself. Who am I?
ఆ క్వశ్చన్ ను దూరం చేసుకుంటున్నారు.
You are away from that question.
Who are you? Where did you come from? Who is, what is your name? ఇది అడుగుతున్నారు కానీ who am I? Who am I? ఎవరైనా వేసుకుంటున్నారా క్వశ్చన్?
We have forgotten our true identity. We go on questioning, who are you? What's your name? Where do you come from? Do you ever question yourself, who am I?
బయట వారు ఏ విధంగా who am I? మొట్టమొదటి తనను తాను తెలుసుకోవాలి.
Outsiders may say any thousand things, but know who am I.
నీవెవరో నీకు తెలుసుకుంటే అతనెవరో నీకు తెలిసిపోతుంది.
If you know yourself, you know the other man.
I am man, he is also man.
I am man, he is also a man.
I am God, he is also God.
I am God, he is also God.
ఇంత సులభంగా తెలిసిపోతుంది.
It's quite an easy way.
తనను తాను తెలుసుకోలేనటువంటి వాడే ఇతరులను నిందించటము, ఇతరులను దూషించటము, ఇతరులను పరిహసించటము, ఇతరులను నొప్పించటము.
The one who does not know one's own self goes on accusing, goes on criticizing, goes on harming others.
కనుక మొట్టమొదట మనలో మనకు ప్రేమను పెంచుకోవాలి.
Therefore we should develop love within ourselves.
సత్య, ధర్మ, శాంతి, ప్రేమ.
The human values satya, dharma, shanti, prema.
ఇవి 5 వేళ్ళు.
Here are 5 fingers.
సత్య, ధర్మ, శాంతి, ప్రేమ, అహింస.
The 5 fingers, satya, dharma, shanti, prema, ahimsa.
ఈ 5 ఏకమైనప్పుడే నేను ఈ టంబ్లర్ ను పట్టుకోవడానికి వీలవుతుంది.
When all the 5 fingers act together, you can hold the tumbler.
ఇది ఒక వేలుతో పట్టుకోవడానికి అవుతుందా?
Can you catch hold of it with one finger?
లేక ఇంకో వేలుతో పట్టుకోవడానికి అవుతుందా?
Can you point with the pointed finger?
కనుక అన్నిటినీ చేర్చి మనము ఇదే హ్యూమన్ వాల్యూ.
We should join all the 5 fingers, that is human value.
5 fingers ను సెపరేట్ చేయకండి.
Never separate 5 fingers.
ఈ 5 fingers కు కోఆపరేషన్ ఇవ్వాలి.
There should be cooperation among the 5 fingers.
Operation.
It's only cooperation, not operation.
కోఆపరేషన్ కావాలి.
Cooperation is needed.
ఇది సరైనటువంటి ధర్మము.
This is true dharma.
ఈ విధమైనటువంటి ఐకమత్యమే మానవుని యొక్క జీవితము.
The unity is true human life.
ఈ ఐకమత్యమే మానవ జీవితానికి ఒక గమ్యము.
The unity is the goal of life.
అప్పుడే దివ్యత్వానికి ఒక చేరిక.
That ensures unification with the divinity.
కనుక అందరూ ఐకమత్యంగా ఉంటుండాలి.
Therefore all should be united.
అందరూ ఒక జీవిత సమస్యను మనం పరిహారం చేయాలి.
We should also solve the problem of life.
పిల్లలను మనం పెద్దగా పెంచి వారిని సరైన ఆదర్శవంతమైనటువంటి దేశ నాయకులుగా తయారు చేయాలి.
We should rear our children and see that they'll be ideal leaders of this country.
కూడా నువ్వు ఇంటిలో వంటిలో ఎక్కడ చూసినా ఈ యొక్క హ్యూమన్ వాల్యూను వాళ్ళకి చెప్పాలి.
So we should tell the human value either at home or outside.
Vahe Guru, Vahe Guru, Vahe Guru. Vahe Guru, Vahe Guru, Vahe Guru. Satyanam, Satyanam, Satyanam. Nityam jappiye Poornima
हरि हरि जी बोलो सत्यनाम 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 जी दत्त 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 दत्तात्रेय जी बोलो दत्त दत्त बोलो दत्त दत्त दत्तात्रेय जी बोलो सत्यनाम जी बोलो बोलो सत्यनाम भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं हरि नाम बिना हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं जप जान बिना तन योग नहीं जप जान बिना प्रभु दर्श बिना प्रज्ञान नहीं दय धर्म बिना सत्कर्म नहीं भगवान बिना कोई अपना नहीं हरि नाम बिना परमात्मा नहीं हरि नाम बिना परमात्मा नहीं हरि भजन बिना शांति नहीं हरि भजन बिना हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं हरि भजन बिना हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं सुख शांति नहीं सुख शांति नहीं
From unto lead us to truth. From darkness, lead us to light. From death, lead us to immortality. Asato mam sadgamaya, tamaso mam jyotirgamaya, mrityormam amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
O Lord, make the whole of my life as pure as the flame before me. Let it consume itself in the fire, scattering light and warmth of love to all around me. At the end of it all, let there be nothing left of me to keep me from merging in you.
The Lord of the universe is here, Swami Satya Sai is here. Come to save devotees everywhere, come to bless His children everywhere. Born at Puttapati, the Lord of the universe is here. Calm and tranquil like the moon, shining with divine inner light, filling all with bliss at His side. He is always serving those in need, answering the prayers of devotees, giving grace to you and me. The Lord of the universe is here. Sai, you are Guru, God and Self. Mother, you are everything to us. Father, you are everything to us. You are the divine primal energy, manifest us all that we ever see. You are the one reality. The Lord of the universe is here. Sai with the sacred form of Om, universal radiance divine. Please accept this offering of mine, the flame of love that burns within my heart, meaning we can never be apart. You and I are ever one. The Lord of the universe is here. Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Swami Satya Sai Hare. Bhakta Jana Samrakshak, Bhakta Jana Samrakshak, Ati Maheshwara. Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Shashivadana Shekara, Sarva Pranapate, Swami Sarva Pranapate. Ashrita Kalpalatika, Ashrita Kalpalatika, Apad Bandhava. Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Mata Pita Guru Deva Mariyantayu Nive, Swami Mariyantayu Nive. Nada Brahma Jagannatha, Nada Brahma Jagannatha, Nagendra Shayana. Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Om Kara Rupa O Jayasvi O Sai Mahadeva, Satya Sai Mahadeva. Mangala Harati Anduko, Mangala Harati Anduko, Mandara Giridhari. Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Narayana Narayana Om, Satya Narayana 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 Om. Narayana Narayana Om, Satya Narayana Narayana Om, Satya Narayana Narayana Om. Om Jaya Sadguru Deva. Narayana Narayana Om, Satya Narayana 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 Om. Narayana Narayana Om, Satya Narayana Narayana Om, Satya Narayana Narayana Om. Om Jaya Sadguru Deva. Narayana Narayana Om, Satya Narayana 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 Om. Narayana Narayana Om, Satya Narayana Narayana Om, Satya Narayana Narayana Om. Om Jai Sadguru Deva. Samasta Loka Sukhino bhavantu samastalokaः Sukhino bhavantu samastalokaः Sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sacred, holy and supreme is Baba's Vibhuti, pouring forth in endless stream His play of Vibhuti. So auspicious is its smile, it grants liberation. Baba's Vibhuti, its power protects me. Paramam Pavitram Baba Vibhuti, Paramam Vichitram Leela Vibhuti, Paramartha Ishtartha Moksha Pradhanam Baba Vibhuti Idamashrayami. Paramam Pavitram Baba Vibhuti, Paramam Vichitram Leela Vibhuti, Paramartha Ishtartha Moksha Pradhanam Baba Vibhuti Idamashrayami. Paramam Pavitram Baba Vibhuti, Paramam Vichitram Leela Vibhuti, Paramartha Ishtartha Moksha Pradhanam Baba Vibhuti Idamashrayami.
Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. 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 Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्।